You didn't start the Me Too movement, but you are arguably the most prominent political face and political voice behind it. You have said that Bill Clinton should have resigned from office. Some responded by calling you a hypocrite for taking the Clintons' money, endorsements, and Hillary Clinton's Senate seat. You also led the charge, I guess, that forced resignation of Al Franken from the Senate, a popular and powerful liberal voice, and prompted a very powerful donor like George Soros to not say he would give you a dime to your campaign. What do you say to people who think you've been politically opportunist or hypocritical?
You know, all of these issues, it really starts with a very simple principle. Do we value women? The reason why I've led over the last decade on trying to make sure this country actually values women, it's why I've led on economic issues like national paid leave, equal pay for equal work, affordable daycare, universal pre-K, but it's also why I've led on ending sexual violence in the military, changing how our college campuses deal with sexual assault, changing how Congress deals with sexual harassment. In fact, I worked with Ted Cruz across the aisle to put together a bipartisan bill to change how we deal with harassment in Congress. And that bill ultimately passed unanimously in the Senate. So the truth is it's all about whether we value women. Now, Al Franken is a very different issue. We loved Al Franken. Many of us miss him. But the truth is there were 8 credible allegations that were substantiated by the press in real time, that were corroborated. 2 of the allegations were since he was senator. The last one happened to be a congressional staffer. So the decision I had to make was whether to speak out or not, whether to stay silent and carry his water. Because I'd been leading on these issues for so long, I couldn't. I'm also a mother of boys. And when I was talking to my oldest son, Theo, who's 15, he said, "Mom, why are you so tough on Al Franken?" And I just had to say, Theo, it's not okay to grope a woman anywhere on her body without her consent. You can never forcibly kiss a woman without her consent. And that it's not okay for Senator Franken, and it's not okay for you, Theo. And so I had to have moral clarity on that.
Well, are there degrees?
And I do get that some very wealthy donors are angry that I stood up and stood by 8 women who came forward. But if they're angry about me standing up for women and blaming me for standing up for women, that's on them.
Well, the degrees of bad behavior, I guess, and if you believe in due process as the Constitution guarantees, why wasn't, I guess, that afforded to Senator Franken?
It was, and if he wanted to stay and go through his ethics committee investigation for however many months that would have taken, those were his right. That was his choice. If he wanted to sue all the 8 women who had allegations against him, that was his choice. My choice was simply to be silent and defend him with my silence, or say it's not okay. What I did was say it's not okay and stood by the women who came forward. And again, for wealthy members of our party to blame a woman who stands up with 8 other women who came forward, probably the most difficult thing for many of them to do, and blame me for his bad behavior, it's
well, you should not be blamed for his bad behavior.
I am being blamed. No, I am being blamed because all I did was say it's not okay. That's all I did. If Senator Franken wanted to stay, he didn't have to resign. Those are his choices. And people who feel falsely accused don't resign. They actually stick it out and fight it out. So that was my choice. His choice is his. And the donors who are angry about me standing up for other women, then they probably don't value women. And that's what all these fights that I've been doing for the last decade are about. That's why equal pay for equal work matters. That's why having a national paid leave plan matters. It's why we should have affordable daycare and universal pre-K.
Let's get to some more.